This is Strength Coach Tutorials number 17, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to create this box down below with your MicroCycle, Mesocycle, Notes, Week, MicroCycle, Opponent box, and Competition, as well as this cool effect where you can select a date from the calendar up above and it'll automatically highlight for you, allowing you to keep better organization of your training sessions and upcoming competitions. Stick around. Okay, welcome back to Strength Coach Tutorials. We're going to continue our annual planner project. There's been a lot of comments recently about this project, so we're going to keep going with it and hopefully get you guys some things that you find useful. As you can see, the annual planner that I have here has changed a little bit from the one that we left off in the last video. All that I've done is I cleaned up this scroller bar up here a little bit and made it look a little bit more cohesive to the actual design. I've added some color up here, colored in the periodization logo, added some boxes and logos, added some boxes in color here, formatted with some dotted lines. And then down here, I've now added what will be the second piece of our periodization annual plan. The things that I like to track when I'm writing a periodization plan is the MicroCycle, Mesocycle, Notes, Week, MicroCycle, the Opponent or Competition, and then down here Competition, what we're going to create is a little selectable box where we can select the date that the competition's on and it will automatically highlight up in our date boxes up here. What I like to do for a lot of these projects is put thick black boxes around them, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So for our next batch of cells here, what we're going to create is a thick black box all the way around this area where we're going to put in our next section. So what you do is you go up to the lines tool, go down to more borders, and it'll give you this tool here. I like to select the extra thick and put it all the way around, and you do that by selecting all of the spots where you want it to go. So you can select all around the outside, and if you wanted one across the middle, one across that way, on the inside, whatever you want. I don't want any of those, so I'm just going to take those out of there. And what it's going to do is it's going to put a thick black box all the way around our designated area. So this is now going to be where we create the MicroCycle, Mesocycle, and Notes boxes. The next one we're going to do is we're going to merge some cells together so that we can type in our opponents as we go through. So if you notice with the opponent, I've given it 4 rows and I've merged those together, and I'm going to use the merge function. And what that looks like is I'm going to select the cells I want to merge, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's one up here called merge and center, and you select that, and now those become one box, and we're going to be able to type in those. So we go merge and center, select, and the cool thing is if you want that all the way across, you can drag that across, and now we got merged cells all the way across. Now the other thing you're going to notice is if we type in those and type game 1 in there, it's going to go horizontal, and we're not going to be able to see all of the text that we put in there. So one of the tricks I like to use is to put that text and make it go vertical. So there's another tool up here with the AB and an arrow, and you can click on that and select vertical text, and it'll actually put the text vertical, and now you can fit it in those merge boxes. And then if you want to play around with where the text actually sits, use these ones. We can sit it in the middle, and I like in the middle there, and then it'll sit right in the middle. And I also like the font Verdana, so I'm going to change it to Verdana. So there you have it. Now we can sit in our games and we can put any opponent that we want in there and be able to type that in. Finally, if we want to be able to put in more than one thing in the box and have it automatically resize, we can format these cells. So you right click, format, and if we go over to alignment, what you can find is there's a box here called shrink to fit, and what this is going to do is automatically shrink the font size so that it fits whatever we typed into the box. Now it's a good function to use if you're going to type stuff that's just a little bit bigger than the cell, but if you're going to type a lot, it's better just to add more cells and then use the shrink to fit. So let's try that here. So we'll type game 1, so maybe we want game 1, comma, game 2. And what you'll notice is it's automatically going to shrink that down now, and have both of those in the box. So let's leave that there, and let's add a little more formatting inside the cells here just to make it look nice. When we copied those across, you'll notice that it erased the black border on the one side. I like dash lines down the middle and then solid lines going horizontal, and that just adds a nice effect now. And all of these boxes are kind of separated from each other, and we can use these in any way that we want. Now we're going to add our microcycles, and that's as easy as just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we can drag those across, and it's going to go all the way to 52 because we know that microcycles are a week each. And you can see it always messes up the formatting because it doesn't know if you want to keep the same formatting or not. The week, however, we want it to coincide with the week of the year. So we can use a function in this box, and you can type equals week num bracket, and then let's select the Monday of the week that's above it and close that bracket, and it's going to give us our week number. And we can drag that across since we didn't put any dollar signs with that F12. We'll drag that across. And what you're going to notice, I'm just going to clean up the formatting here quickly. What you're going to notice is all of these numbers are the same. However, if we start to scroll the dates, then the week number is actually going to change as we change the weeks, but the microcycle numbers will stay the same. So we'll be able to know what week we're on in the year, also what microcycle we're in, because the microcycles aren't going to change from the beginning of our program. So right now that looks like they're both the same, but they're not, obviously. Then for microcycle or macrocycles, mesocycles, and notes, I don't usually do anything specific with those sections. I just merge them as I need them. So say I wanted these first 8 cells to be a single macrocycle. I go back to that merge and center, and maybe I want that to be my preparation. So I can just type that in there, and it's automatically going to be in there. And then for mesocycle, let's go a 4-week mesocycle, and then maybe that's a strength. And then notes, we can merge those boxes and say work on squat technique and cleans, or whatever we want to put in there. And now we have a way to track that, and we can do that across the whole one and merge these however you want them to fit your needs. So there's a way that I like to do that. And then if you want, it's easy enough to just fill these in with a color to kind of differentiate them from one another. And then they're at your disposal, and you can look at them quite easily. Now finally, for competition, what I want to be able to do here is select a date from the week above and then have it automatically highlight so that we can know when our competitions are on our weekly calendar. And the way that I like to do this is, first I need the competition cell to be in the same format as the dates above. So the easiest way to do that is just to copy one, Control C, and then right click, paste format. What it's going to do there, it's going to give us the same format with the custom date. Okay, so now that we've copied the date down to the competition bar, what we want to be able to do now is select any of the competition dates from that week in this cell. So what we're going to use for this is a data validation. So what I've used this in my previous videos. So we select the cell. I want you to go up to data validation, and we're going to select a list. And this time, the list is going to be the week above where we have the cells, and that's going to be okay. And then we're going to erase the dollar signs from the cells because we want this to be draggable in a second. So if I hit OK, now we should be able to select any of the days in that box, so you can see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which matches our up here are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The cool thing about this too is if we scroll the date and make it 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, this will also be 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So it's always going to match the week that's above it. So because we left those dollar signs off, we can drag this across and it should match. So any of these weeks we should be able to get the right dates. So that works. Now the last piece of this puzzle that we want to create is if I select a date down here, I want it on the calendar to highlight that date to let us know that there's a competition on that day coming up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a conditional format. So I'm going to select the first date, January 2nd, go to Home, Conditional Formatting, New Rule, and I'm going to scroll down to where it says Use a Formula, and the formula is going to be equals F12, because that's where we're keeping that cell. We'll keep that open. And then if that one equals F29, which is where we're going to select it, and we're going to keep this one closed, except for we're going to keep the number closed so that if we paste another cell, the number stays the same, and then the F, the column will change if we paste it across. And then if that is true, what we wanted to do is format, and let's fill it with the color, let's say blue. Okay. Okay, so then if F12 equals F29, then it's going to fill blue. Okay, so let's try that out. So if we select the second, what you'll notice up here is that cell now colors blue. Now an easy way to get that formula to other cells is now just to copy that and paste formatting. So you'll see copy, I right click, paste, and you go to the little paintbrush here, paste formatting, and we'll paste that formatting all the way down. And it's also going to paste the thick borders because it's all of the formatting including the colors, but we can change that in a second. So what you're going to notice is now I can select any one of those dates, and that date is going to appear in blue. We'll fix this back up. We'll take away the gray where it's not supposed to be. Take away the gray where it's not supposed to be. And we'll fix the inside borders back up using the method I showed you before. Put a thick border on the bottom. So now it all looks the way it's supposed to, and we'll actually fix these ones back up as well. We'll put the lines down the middle, dotted lines there, thick border on the bottom. And now it all looks the way we want it to, except for there's one piece at the end, sorry, that I forgot to format. We'll make sure that this is on the end. So now you can see we have the two boxes, and this should all work quite nicely. And then if we copy all these cells and we paste the format here, so in order to get this to go all the way across, it's just going to be a matter of pasting this formula all the way across with a right click, and you should be able to get that formula to work on any one of these boxes. Now if you wanted to add another box to have different competition dates and maybe do them in different colors, the possibilities are endless here. So if you like this video, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, anything at DSMStrength. You can go to my website, www.dsmstrength.com. I'm also going to make these files available at some point. So if you're interested in purchasing one of these files, shoot me an email to dsmstrength@gmail.com, and I can help you with any custom Excel or making some of these files purchasable for you. I'm curious just if there is a want for any files kind of like this. Either way, let me know if I can help you out in the future. And thank you for supporting the videos. Please like and subscribe and share these videos. It really helps me out, and it helps me bring more information to you guys. Thanks.